Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Fussell. This is Business 101. Today we're going to be going over business location. This is for GCSE AQA exam board. So, business location. Business owners have to consider a number of things when choosing a location for their business. These include what type of business and how close they need to be to their customers, labor, materials, and competitors. Proximity to the market. Right, so the term market refers to a business's customers and consumers. For businesses such as takeaways, corner shops, clothes shops, pop-up food businesses, and hairdressers, being close to their market is extremely important. If these businesses were not close to their market, they'd miss out on sales as they would not be easily accessible to their target market. For other businesses, such as online design businesses, clothing manufacturers, and car manufacturers, being close to their market isn't as an important factor. This is because online companies and car manufacturers can sell their products anywhere and they can usually deliver to the customer's house or a local car dealership. Proximity to labor. So the term labor refers to people whom a business employs or would potentially want to employ. For most companies, it is important to be close to high-quality labor or to be located in an area to which employees are willing to travel to. So businesses need to make sure that they are located in an area that has people with skills relevant to the job role. In general, for roles with a low requirement for skills, a business would just need to be located near any populated area to ensure it can hire employees. But for roles that require a high level of skill, such as a design engineer, a computer scientist, or a solicitor, businesses may need to be located close to big cities, university towns, or other areas that attract more highly skilled people. Proximity to materials. For some products, being close to the raw materials is extremely important for saving money. For other products, it often makes more sense to be located close to the market and transport the raw materials further. So, two main distinctions here. So, first off, for bulk gaining products, this is where the product is larger than the raw materials used to produce it. So, for example, a bike. It makes sense for a business to be located near its market so that it doesn't have to transport the finished product very far. In this situation, the raw materials are cheaper to transport than the final finished item. For bulk reducing products, which is where the product is smaller than the raw materials used to produce it, e.g. Like milkshakes, it makes sense for a business to be located closer to the raw materials, okay? So in this situation, transporting bottles of milkshakes is more convenient than transporting all the individual raw materials that go into the milkshake. So therefore, being located close to its raw materials allows a business using bulk reducing products to save on transportation costs. This is a very important element. So proximity to competitors, this is a very important thing to consider. So many businesses like to be located far away from their competitors so that they can have access to more customers without having to fight off competition, okay? So for businesses such as petrol stations, corner shops, and barbershops, this works extremely well, okay? So these types of business like to be far away from competitors because customers are only likely to visit one of that type of business, often the one closest to their home or in the most convenient location for them, unless they have some kind of personal preference in which they may travel to a specific store just because it's their favorite. But you need to have quite a lot of brand loyalty in order to achieve that from customers. So for other businesses, being close to their competitors can be important to help them succeed. Examples are car dealerships, clothing shops, which are both found near one another. These types of business are happy to be located close to their competition because customers are likely to shop around when purchasing a car or item of clothing. So being close to competition means these businesses are more likely to be considered by people making a purchase. Just kind of being further away from each other could limit sales for businesses such as these. So let's move on to the nature of the business activity. So retail. Retail companies generally want to be located as close to their customers as possible. Retailers sell products directly to customers, so are most likely to be in busy areas and around other retail outlets. The exception to this is where a retail business only sells products through the internet, okay? So service companies sometimes need to be located near their customers, but sometimes they can be located anywhere. So some examples of service companies that need to be near their customers are companies such as train operators and taxi companies. Some examples of service companies that can be located anywhere are contact centers and web designers, okay? So let's talk about manufacturing. So manufacturing companies generally prefer locations with cheaper rent rather than being close to their customers. Many manufacturing companies transport products around the country or even further, so from abroad. Okay, so business location for these companies generally is decided by costs, especially for small businesses. If a product is bulk gaining, the manufacturer may consider being located close to its market, depending on the cost. If a product is bulk reducing, it usually makes sense for the manufacturer to be located closer to its raw materials. Okay, so now let's talk about the importance of infrastructure. So infrastructure refers to the facilities that support everyday economic activities, e.g. roads, phone lines, and gas pipes. An efficient transport network enables staff to get to work really easily. It also allows supplies to be brought in from far afield and permits finished products to be moved to market cheaply and quickly, which is very important. The impact of location depends on the type of business. For example, it is important for shops and restaurants to be conveniently located for its customers. However, a delivery-only takeaway may prefer to be in cheap premises on the edge of town, close to good transport links. Ooh, wish I had a drink next to me right now. So finally, let's move on to the impact of the internet on location decisions, because this was massive. When the internet first sort of got huge globally, this impacted businesses in a massive, massive way, okay? So let's talk e-commerce and /or fixed premises. So e-commerce is any transaction that takes place through the internet. M-commerce is any transaction that takes place using mobile technologies. So, for example, a mobile phone app. E-commerce and M-commerce allow businesses to choose cheap locations because there is no requirement to be located near to its customers. These businesses can sell items online and then send them to customers using couriers. Common examples of businesses that operate online are clothing companies, designers, bloggers, influencers. You've also got services such as like Uber that operate online through apps, everything like that, okay? Some companies choose to have both an online business and a fixed retail premises. This is common in retail industries such as clothing shops. So for example, River Island's got a website. They also have many, many in-person stores, okay? This is common in retail industries such as clothing shops. Many new small businesses focus on e-commerce and m-commerce when they're starting out in order to keep their costs low, because it's quite a cost-effective method when you're starting up, and especially when you're in the big leagues as well. It still retains itself as being quite cost-effective. Okay, so what are the main benefits other than that? For e-commerce, so that would be lower costs, as we mentioned. Flexible working hours, access to a much larger market of potential customers, the ability to be open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and relatively low price marketing and promotion, okay? Okay, so that is the end of today's lesson. I hope everyone has learned something. This has been Business Location for GCSE AQA exam board. I have been Mr. Fussell from Business 101. Any questions that I did not answer, please do put down in the comment section and I will try to reply to them as quickly as I possibly can. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more business content. I'm moving through the GCSE AQA exam board currently. I will then be moving on to the A-level exam board. the A-level tier, and then possibly other exam boards in the future. But this is going to take a while to get through these because there is so much content to get through. So please do subscribe, stick around for the rest of the content if you are learning this stuff or want to just improve your general knowledge of the business landscape. Okay? With that being said, thank you so much for watching, guys. We will see you in the next lesson. Goodbye.